Are you trying to tell this committee that there must be a case first before COA can perform its inquisitorial power pursuant to law?
I mean, I refuse to accept that COA has no power over their provincial counterparts insofar as requesting or demanding these documents to be submitted to them, Mr. Chair. Just for the record, Mr. Chair. Thank you. That also constitute you can compel an agency to require to submit to you documents that you are requiring them to submit. Isn't subpoena power a power granted to you to compel, to demand any documents that you are requesting from any agency? Unless we have different understanding of the subpoena powers. I certainly would not agree with the premise that COA cannot demand these documents. If your request, for example, if it really germane and pertains to the very nature of COA, which is to audit especially funds that are being utilized, I don't think any agency has the choice whether or not to submit all these documents that are necessary for COA to conduct its very mandate according to the Constitution granted to you. You're a constitutional body. You have all the powers to audit whatever funds that are being used by any agency. If you cannot do that, maybe you can inform your central office to do the task that you are avoiding to do para hindi ho kayo malagay sa alanganin. I think baka ganyan lang yung pinaka-remedyo doon. But I would certainly, Mr. Chair, would beg to not, I refuse to accept that COA has no power over their provincial counterparts insofar as requesting or demanding these documents to be submitted to them, Mr. Chair. Just for the record, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Chairman Akop.
in relation to the issue raised by the Honorable Alyong, Attorney, did I hear you right that there must be a case pursuant to Section 40?
Yes, Your Honor. It's in Section 41, indicated in Section
Section
41
41?
of PD 1445.
You mentioned about Section 40 a while ago.
40, paragraph 1.
And then, are you trying to tell this committee that there must be a case first before COA can perform its inquisitorial power pursuant to law? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
It is what indicated in the provision, Your Honor. But may we clarify, Your Honor, if I just may, with the permission from my regional director, that may we clarify that COA has the power to demand the documents. However, we cannot compel the auditees if they don't want to submit to COA the documents. However po, we have existing mechanisms. We have existing guidelines on how COA conducts its audit. We have the rules and regulation on the settlement of accounts, which we apply in the audit of the accounts of the auditees. So doon po, hindi naman po totally na walang power si COA. Because pagka po we have exhausted all the remedies available to the auditors, and yet hindi pa rin po nako-comply yung mga auditees, we have audit actions. So it's either we could issue an audit observation memorandum, or we can issue a notice of suspension, or sa level po ng mga local government auditors, they may issue the disallowance. So yun po, kasi po kami po sa COA po, yun po, we are limited on the audit of the transaction. So however po, pagka let's say po, nagkaroon po ito ng complaint or this nag-rise po siya sa fraud audit, meron pong request or request for fraud audit, then it would be a different po, no? So meron din po kaming existing mechanism on how the fraud audit is conducted.
Madam Attorney, we know that. Sa dami-dami po ng inimbestigahan na namin ng kaso na ganito, where even the main office of COA appeared in our investigations. Alam na po namin yun that you can issue an AUM at hindi na sumusunod merong notice of suspension, notice of disallowance. Alam na po namin yon. Ang tanong po namin is, bakit hindi po nyo ginagawa ngayon?
I am not in position to comment on that, sir, because I am not
And who is in
assigned
the position to answer that? Sino po ang nasa posisyon na sumagot po nun?
Your Honor, as we are explaining, Your Honor, after exhausting the sending of demand letters, our audit team leaders, together with the supervising auditors, will have the appropriate audit action if the LGUs recipients of this LGF still fail to submit these documents requested from them, Your Honor.
RD, what is the current situation now? How many demand letters have you undertaken?
Per confirmation from the supervising auditors, they were able to send at least the first demand and the follow-up letters, Your Honor.
Oh, does the follow-up letter not consist of the second demand letter?
Yes, Your Honor, that is already considered as the
that's-
second demand
you have
letter.
sent the second demand letter.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, kailangan po mag-send uli ng third demand letter. Yung po bang ibig nyo sabihin before you can institute the other audit actions that you are referring to?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, kailan po yung pagbibigay nyo ng third demand letter? Kasi paikot-ikot na po tayo kanina rito eh.
So as per confirmation from the supervising auditors, Your Honor, they are expecting to receive the documents by March, by the end of this month, Your Honor.
And there's no need for the third demand letter. Kasi in-expect nyo na magsasubmit sila eh.
We can still issue last and final, sir, no, the third one, because the grace period given to them in that series of demand is around 5 days.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Ako. RD, matanong ko lang po. Under what provision in the regulatory document that you need to send at least 3 demand letters? Wala po.
Sir, actually, sir, why are we doing that, sir? Because the audit of 2024 is still ongoing.
Hindi nga po. Ang tinatanong ko po dito, ongoing nga eh. Pero tingnan mo, RD ongoing, but how can, sa bibig mo mismo lumabas kanina, that you cannot decide on that because your only function is to audit documents. Di ba? Reports. Now, question, kung hindi sila magsasubmit ng report, do you need to submit, to send 3 demand letters? Is that stipulated in your...
Sir, that given series of demand letters is for them, the LGUs are giving due process for them to submit these documents, sir.
Hindi nga eh. Kasi since August pa yan, di ba? Now, ang question, what specific provision of your circulars or your policies that will violate if you make necessary action after the second demand letter in which you have not yet complied?
Mr. Chair, I believe it is within the editorial judgment of the auditor, and we are guided
Kaya
by
nga
the...
eh.
Yes, Mr.
Kaya
Chair.
nga, ma'am eh.
Yes,
Kaya,
took place in August. Because,
hindi nyo ma-certain, ma'am. Hindi nyo ma-certain because they have not submitted the document, di ba? Kaya nga kailangan mag-comply sila. Kasi yun yung sinasabi nyo kanina na yun yung mandate nyo. Di ba? The mere fact that they have not submitted all those required documents from them since August, may problema po. Di ba? And tinatanong ko nga kayo eh, what specific provision in your circular, in your policy that will be violated? Wala eh, di ba? Wala. It is based on the judgment of the auditors. Again, attorney, Sabi nga Chairman Akop, alam mo, dito, sa committee ko, halos lahat yan, dinaanan na namin. Lahat ng mga palusot, lahat. Kaya nga, well, in fact, I have a lot of amendments to your charter. And even your memorandum circulars. 97-002, ay, papa-amend namin yan. Kabisado na po namin yan. Well, in fact, pati, kung gusto mo, pupunta pa tayo dun sa dulo. Question of AOM, etc. How long? It will take 6 months. Ano mangyari sa bansa natin pag ganyan lagi? Di ba? Ma'am, eto ngayon, okay, papalagpasin ko kayo dyan. I will not discuss details on that. Punta ko na lang yung si attorney dun sa central, yung sa fraud audit. Of course, pwede mong sabihin, attorney, na you have not yet evaluated or studied about the case in BARM. But my question is, with all this revelation now, documents being required by law was not submitted by the agency, does this warrant a fraud audit? Alam mo na yan, attorney, di ba? Kasi kahit ongoing ang fraud audit, special audit can be made, or the fraud audit can be made, di ba? Even ongoing ang regular audit. Now, question, nandito ka nung nakaraang hearing, based in the facts being presented now, does this merit a fraud audit?
Your Honor, we submit to the discretion of Honorable Chairperson Cordova, Your Honor. And under our guidelines, the Commission proper can direct the conduct of fraud audit motu proprio, Your Honor.
Correct. Pero tama po yan. And supposedly, this committee or the chairman to this committee don't need to write a letter to your chairman, Cordova, if the people down below is doing their job. Di ba? Just like what we have done nung nakaraan, kaya nag-fraud audit tayo dahil sa committee hearing natin, then nag-decide yung commission proper na fraud audit should be conducted in blah, 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 etc., etc. Tama? Doon po sa mga previous cases, previous investigation na ginawa ng committee na to. So, pag ganyan, yung last recourse ng committee is for us to recommend to Chairman Cordova to conduct a fraud audit. Kasi, attorney, alam mo naman, 6 months, almost 6 months na, walang submission ng documents. Tapos, well, in fact, hindi nila alam ng mga tao niya sa baba, hindi alam ni RD, hindi alam ng residence auditor, na may LGSF nung August pa pala. May problema tayo dyan. Malaking problema. Kaya ako, I suggest to this committee that we will write an official letter addressed to Chairman Cordova to conduct a fraud audit investigation while the regular audit is ongoing. Para yung taga-central, bumaba na po. RD, what's your comment on my manifestation or position with regards to that?
Your Honor, as far as the COA BARM is concerned, hindi naman po lalagpas itong LGSF because it is covered under the 2024 audit. So, ibig sabihin, sir, pag nag-submit po kami ng annual audit report by June 30, mahahagip po namin yung audit ng LGSF na narilisan nung August hanggang December po.
Sir, but you also agree with me that a regular audit is so different from a fraud audit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino yung mas may ipin? Ang regular audit o ang fraud audit?
Pardon, sir?
Sino ang mas malakas? Ang fraud audit o regular audit with regards to ensuring accountability and transparency with regards to government funds?
Sir, with respect to that, it is the fraud audit, sir, kasi specific po yung audit.
Kaya nga
Oh.
Kaya kinukuha ko yung opinion mo, RD. Kaya lang sagot mo sa akin, hindi, mahagip naman to eh. No. Because a fraud audit is so different with regards to regular audit. Kaya, kung ako, sa committee na to, we will, once again, communicate with Chairman Cordova to conduct a fraud audit in this case while the regular audit is ongoing. Kasi hearing from all your answers, wala eh. Baka mamaya sabitan na kayo ng January, February, or sabitan kayo ng August ba yun? To December, August to September, October. Alam po natin, napaka-sensitive na budget na to. Di ba? This is 6.4 billion.
Mr. Chair.
And mag-election. I think my position is for us to communicate with Chairman Cordova to conduct a fraud audit
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
para po matapos tong usapan na to.
Mr.
Please
Chair.
proceed.
Yeah, just a brief comment on that, Mr. Chair. I tend to agree with the assessment and observation of the chairman because even in their internal auditing policy of the COA, 50 below, pwedeng i-audit ng RD. 50 above, 50 million. 50 million below, that can be audited by the regional level. But 50 million and above, central office na po yan. That's in your auditing, internal auditing rules and policies. So even without saying, requiring the central government, a central COA to get into the picture that has already been applied, can already be applied just by using your own internal auditing procedure and policies. That 50 million and above, COA National Central Office will come into the picture. And we're talking of 6.4 billion pesos. It's more than the So, Mr. Chair, I tend to agree with the observation and the recommendation of the chair. Maybe it's time that we attract and invite the attention of the COA Central to conduct the necessary auditing procedures that they would tend to do to assess, monitor the utilization of the 6.4 billion local government support funds in the arm, Mr. Chair. If it requires for this committee to write to Chairman Cordova to conduct a fraud audit, I would certainly sign this recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Kong Sia. Please put it into motion, Kong Sia, so that we can rule on that.
Mr. Chair, I move that we direct the COA to conduct the fraud audit, Mr. Chair, on the LGSF funds of the 2024 BARM LGSF, Mr. Chair. So move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion to direct COA Central Office to conduct a fraud audit with regards to the LGSF fund of the BARM. Duly seconded. Any objections from the Zoom?
None, Mr. Chair.
None. Hearing none, the motion is carried. A fraud audit will be directed to the COA to conduct for the BARM LGSF fund. Now, ito lang po, RD, at saka sa COA, pati sa lahat po ng mga resource person ngayon. Well, in fact, yung issue about government fund spending during election na nangyari doon sa Cagayan, province of Cagayan, ang involved na pera doon is only 350 million. Almost 350 million. Pero nag-conduct ng fraud audit. At bago matapos yung termination ng committee hearing namin dito sa House, lumabas na po yung resulta ng fraud audit. Mabilis po. Of course, may kabagalan pa rin, pero at least, yung fraud audit team, saka yung auditing process, mas mapabilis kasi nakatutok lang. Just like in the case of BARM. Kung LGSF, mas may tutok, siguro naman mas mabilis na gawin yun.